What's good, everyone? Welcome back to My First Kicks. This is episode 198. Yes, that's right. I'm numbering them again because now we're on the right track. So this week had to bring in one of my friends and one of the originator of the Andy boot, Andy, or I don't know. I always was like, for some reason in my head, I always call you 0831.
Bro, people till this day call me 083. Like they just massacre all the numbers. It's just Andy and the ampersand E or Andy, or if you want to say my whole government, Andy Martinez.
Welcome to the podcast, man.
Thanks for having me.
This is a long time coming. I know I was hitting you up pretty early on and being like, yo, you got to pull up. And we just never.
Bro, and what's crazy is like, I'm not really outside. And I saw you in two venues where I was outside.
Yeah.
Like it was what was that?
The first
one? Music venue.
Yeah,
thing?
we went to Knockdown Center to watch. It was like the Rap Genius.
There you go.
Barbecue, I think it was. And that was closed by the Clips, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. The only reason I wanted to go was to watch the Clips. But then I ran into you at House of Glory. And then that's why we were like
House of Glory and in Long Island for that AEW
thing
with Zach.
Yeah. We went to that too.
And yeah. So 3 different occasions and now we're here.
No,
just
yeah. I think it was just like the coincidences that we kept having to run into each other. But, you know, shout out to Jovan. Jovan always recommended you for an episode. You know, that's our boy.
Yeah, that's the connect over here. Shout out to Jovan Newsom. So wholesome. Newsom.
King Tut, if you want to.
King Tut.
If you want to, King motherfucking Tut, if you want to follow him. You know, he does listen to this podcast, and then he was like, yo, you got to have my boy Andy on. I was like, that sounds familiar. And then he was just like, yeah, he's the dude that does the Cowboy Air Force Ones. And it was funny because I'm going to bring this full circles. I've never told you this, right? Private Party was teaming up with Adam Page. And that's the cowboy dude, right? He does the cowboy shit, and he does it, and he's like the cowboy themed wrestler. But this was like 2-3 years ago. And
okay, got you.
Yeah.
I was like Adam Page.
Yeah. And but he's in AEW, whatever. That's why I'm like, this is weird, full circle.
Yeah.
So they were teaming up together, and they posted. You remember when the fitted, but it was like the 360 fitted when it was going viral. So on Twitter, they said Private Party, I think it was like Isaiah Cassidy was just like, oh, I want Hangman to wear that. And then I copied it, and I was just like, I responded, and I was just like, and he got to wear these, and I posted the Andy boot.
Damn.
And that took off, and people were like, why are you not crediting Andy? I was like, I know Andy. I don't have you like it wasn't like I'm stealing it from you.
Seriously. The internet gets so funny with that because it's just like, oh, that's his image. And it's just like, there's only so much you could do with crediting people and like photos. Is like, yo, maybe you're just feeling that in the moment to just like post it, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, what's crazy was that hat and my boot were, it was like a perfect moment online where the hat was going viral and then the boot was going viral and then Virgil's Louis Vuitton boot was going viral. So it was just like this like whole on like, all the press that I got was from the shoe going viral and people commenting on it and making memes about them and stuff. So yeah, it was a cool time. It was a cool time.
Nah, yeah. I think that because we were talking about when we first met, we were talking about the Tweak Season video and how I remember watching it and just dying because
man, that was some of my that was like my best directorial debut on Instagram. Like that was just like composed to the T. It was so perfect.
I do love because like so recently today I saw West NYC drop their teasing
the Wizard joints.
Yeah, and it's super fire. They're doing a like a Find the Wizard thing. They did it today. It was like 3:00. If you find the Wizard, you get a chance to get the pair.
Did you find him?
No, I'm not on the West Side. I was downtown, man. By the time I saw it, it was over for me. I wouldn't be able to go up there and get it. But it looks like a great shoe. I know you got a pair.
Yeah.
But
shout out to Wes.
Shout out to Wes,
Lester, Mike, the whole team.
But I know that you did your first release there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it before. What was that even like?
Bro, it was again back to the pictures going viral like on Sneaker Freaker, Nice Kicks. So I had a pair that was like doing its circles around the internet, and I was actually looking for a pair. So I'm like, let me go and check West. Maybe West might have them. And then
what color was this?
They were the ones with the red swoosh and the gum bottom.
Okay, yeah.
And then I had like a tan upper. So I was actually making that pair for this comedian. His name is John B. Christ. So he requested that pair, and when I showed up to the store, just like stalling around, and then Mike, who's the store manager, he's like, "Oh, that's interesting. I've never seen a cowboy boot Monarch before." And then that's when I did my little turn. I'm like, actually, I made them. He's like, "Oh, that's funny because I just seen a pair on Sneaker Freaker." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm actually looking for this exact same shoe in a 10.5." He's like, "Holy shit!" So we that became like, now I'm known like in that store, like, "Oh shit, yeah, that was a kid that did that." But right when that happened, he took a photo of them and sent it to the owner of the store, which is Lester. Lester's in Tip Top, a few doors down.
Yeah.
And on my way out of the store, he's like, I'm like, "You know what? Let me go and check in Tip Top and see what kind of cowboy boots they have there. I know it's going to be a lot of money, but it's a few blocks away.
Yeah.
Might as well check it out." So when I walked in there, Lester has his phone on his hand. He's like, "Dude, and now you're here. It's so crazy. Hi, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah." And he just introduced himself. And after that, we just all became cool. And then funny enough, that experience wouldn't have happened like in any other like retail spaces, because I was able to get the boots from Tip Top and the Air Forces from West, and then mash them all up together and stuff. And
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kismet,
man.
Yeah.
It's like it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's all organic, just like every piece of the puzzle just kept on falling into place.
And then what was like that release? Because I know we only like that, like you actually releasing your boots at West.
It was a crazy experience, just because, again, everything is falling into place as I go. This is the first time that I'm doing a size run.
Yeah.
I'm doing size 6 all the way to a 13. And yeah, like I never had that many just like all at once. Like I do everything made to order. So me chopping up all these tops and then cutting off all these seams, I'm like, man, this is a lot of work. And then I'm still getting orders in between that. So I had to stop doing what I'm doing here and then take care of like the customers that I was doing everything just like through DMs and stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is before the site.
Before the site. Yeah. So Hypebeast hits me up to do like a short like ASMR, like cutting the shoe, putting it all together.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
So I'm like, perfect opportunity to show the freaking boots that I'm gonna be displaying at West. Boom. That happened. Adir, who works at West at Tip Top, invited me to this J. Crew event. Jacob Gallagher from Wall Street Journal was there. Takes a picture of my boots. 2 days later, he's like, "Hey, I want to write about you." Now I have a write. So all this press was just like happening all organically, just like by me wearing the boot and just being there. You know what I mean? And I always tell people, I'm like, okay, like you can have like a brand, and the most important thing is for you to actually wear it, because if someone else, if you're confident in it, you got to wear it, and like you just never know who else is gonna see it.
Yeah, see, or look at it, like take a picture and be like, "Yo, I really need to figure out a way to get it." Like,
and then before there's times that I'm on the train and people try to Google it. They're like, "Yo, Air Force One cowboy boot." And then you just see my pretty ass just sitting there, just like Hypebeast, XYZ. You know what I mean? So
they're just there, Google it. They look down and they're like,
"Wait a minute, how are you wearing it?" And then like, "Yo, congratulations." I'm like, "Thanks."
Oh man. But you're here to answer the question that I ask everybody each week, and that question is, what's your first kicks? What's that first pair of sneakers you absolutely need to have? Shout out to the hard pivot.
That was great. The first sneakers that I had to have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at first I thought you said like the first sneakers I remember having, but the first sneakers that I had to have were the Aqua 8s.
Aqua 8s? Yes. That's so left field. I didn't even expect that.
Hey, the Aqua 8s, like, come on. That's it's between the Aqua 8s and the Olympic 7s.
You were a big Jordan head? Like
I'm a Jordan head. Yeah. That's how Javon and I like became like cool in college.
Yeah.
You know, I was never like, I'm not like the most athletic. Actually, I'm not athletic at all. But I wear Jordans because I'm Spanish. You know?
Where'd you grow up initially?
Washington Heights.
Washington Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's like a big Jordan area back in the day.
Back in the day, you didn't even know when Jordans were released. Well, at least I didn't, because I didn't have like a computer right away, but you would be able to see every Jordan release on the one train. You would be like, all right, cool. Everybody got Shadow 10s now.
Yeah.
Everybody got Olympic 7s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If the hood is wearing, if there's a Jordan that dropped, the hood is wearing it.
Every single person, and everybody wore them the same way. They would skip the laces, have them hanging, like the pants. There was like a whole science. Even the little thumbtack on the back, you know?
That's crazy. So like for some reason I thought you were from the Bronx. That was gonna
of
say.
Course.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course.
But it's funny because I thought you were gonna be like, yeah, uptowns. And then you know.
I mean, it's borderline Bronx. If you think about it, we're right by the Cross Bronx.
Right. Yeah.
You know? We're like a nice little hybrid, but we're preparing Manhattan for the Bronx. If that makes sense.
No, you're preparing Harlem for the Bronx.
What's crazy is, so West Harlem, I still consider that the Heights.
Okay.
If you're on the 140s, like on Broadway, that's still I feel like there's more Dominicans there. Actually, no. It's just a continuous, like from 135th on the west side. Well, Broadway and like before Amsterdam, that's all little DR.
Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, and then when you get to Dykeman, you are in DR.
Yeah.
You're literally in DR.
It's just yeah, exactly. It's like
Chinatown.
No, actually, it's like you're in Miami. That's like high class DR. Everybody wants to go up there and like smoke hookah and sit in like white lounge chairs and stuff. You know,
I mean, I've been to Dykeman a handful of times, and every time I always feel like, one, it's way too hard to get to. Like if you don't live in an area that is easy to get to Dykeman, it seems like it's impossible to get to Dykeman. And then
it's crazy up there too.
Yeah. And then at the same time, it's like you get there and you're transported into like hookah lounges left and right. You got like
legit hookah lounges, bars, loud music.
Yeah, everybody's playing dominoes on the street. Like, well, if it's the summer.
Yeah. Man. Oh, Dykeman.
Well,
but I'm from the Heights. So I mean, actually, no, it's still chaotic over there. And especially like where like my block.
Yeah.
It was parallel to the George Washington Bridge. So not only are you getting the streets chaos, but you're also getting the chaos from Jersey. And all the trucks and you know what I mean?
Smog
it's is honestly like the best place to get away. That's where the sniper got away from. He rode his bike from Central Park, took the bridge, the bus terminal on 179th Street or 181st Street, I forget. And then took off to Pennsylvania, and then wanted a McGriddle of all things.
I guess so, man.
In Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania, he's like, let me go to Altoona and get a nice,
seriously
Big Mac and get popped.
He's like, fuck.
So like, because your fashion sense is extremely zany all over the place, I think, in my opinion.
Zany?
Zany.
School me on that. What is that?
Because there's nobody that's going to be like, I feel like there's no, like, you have to be looking at something and be like, I think I could upgrade this like crazy, and it needs this cowboy aesthetic. So like that, or even when we first met, or when we first met in person, when you had on the Chinese slipper hat, Like you're like, even though it's your boy that made it, like that is like you were just you. It's part of this like your aesthetic of like, yo, I like cool shit. I'm gonna rock it. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna even make it cooler.
It's all about owning it.
Yeah.
Just own it. Just put it on. It's just like, all right, cool.
But where does that come
from? Where does my zaniness come from? You know,
sorry if that's the wrong word.
I was like, zany.
So like, for example, the only reason I say that is because I got the new J-Tips, right? The Matrix. And to me, that's a zany shoe.
That is a zany shoe, for sure.
and so for me, I've been using it's my word that I've been
like
using
very
to be like
but
loud and wild.
You know, I went to the High School of Art and Design. So art and design, if you know anything about like just like the history of just people that went there, it's like our hallways were basically runways. You know what I mean? I learned more about sneakers being at art and design. Like my locker, forget about it. Like I used to share my locker with my girlfriend at the time, and it was nothing but sneaker boxes. And it was just like, yo, meet me on the 5th floor. All right, cool, you got them? And then we'll just like, there was like this funny trend, like people would just have like these big Supreme bags. But my bad. I always do this. I go this way, and like the question was, being at art and design made me way more. You could have
kept going. It's fine.
No, I was watching some of my interviews, and I just go like this, and then that way, and then like
it's called the weave.
I feel you. It's probably the editor's fault. They never edit it down. But my zaniness comes from being at art and design and just absorbing that energy from all my classmates. Like everybody had like their own style, and you know, just seeing color palettes, and then just like, all right, cool, I can like mix this baby pink with this light blue denim and mash it up with this one t-shirt, and then throw on some Aqua 8s.
So like were you always artistic, or was it always like
autistic?
No, or artistic. I definitely said it correctly. Don't pay me in a box. Like from middle school on, were you always drawing?
All right.
Like how did you end up at art and design? Because I wanted to go to art and design and I didn't get accepted. So how did you?
Bro, so I went to, I've always been drawing. That was like my first love is drawing. Since I was a kid, I used to get in trouble for all the wrong reasons. But obviously, like you're wasting time in school if you're just going to class and doodling all over your binder. Like I had 0 notes. I don't even know how I freaking graduated college. Because I was looking at some of my college stuff, and it's still the same thing. It's just like, do now, and Bart Simpson drawing, you know? And I was always drawing, and my 8th grade teacher, her name was Miss Winchell. I haven't seen her ever since, but I hope she's doing good wherever she's at. And
one of my biggest fans. Shout out Miss Winchell.
She saw that I was nice at drawing, and she was like, yo, would you want to get into this program to help you prepare for your high school portfolio? So at the time, everyone wanted to go to LaGuardia. Javon went to LaGuardia for like performing arts and stuff, or I think he went for drawing. But
let's go with performing arts. Performing arts. He's a big
definitely performing arts. And that's when I first started doing still lifes and doing a lot of like the more traditional art stuff, and you know, walking around with the big old like
portfolio
book,
thing.
Just mad dorky and stuff. It was a good time. It was such a good time, and I didn't make it to LaGuardia, but I made it to art and design, which, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. You know,
so then like in there, do you find your love for fashion? Because like at what point do you go, all right, I think I can actually make stuff instead of like, all right, this art stuff is still my thing.
So back to at like the peers that I had in art and design, they were much older than me, but from a distance, I always used to like admire and look up to them. So there was this dude named this dude. there was this graffiti artist by the name of Smurfo. Smurfo used to go crazy with like sneaker customizations. Jay West, he was an amazing painter, and Osby, which was another. He does tattoos now and was customizing, and just used to wear the craziest color, like that little bit of green that you have on your shoe. He would have the perfect hoodie to go with it and the hat, and it was just like with the steep tech, and just being around that, I was like, damn, how can I take that and just make it my own?
Right.
So by default, just being around that kind of energy, you have me today. I'll run into one of them every now and then, like at a party. I'm like, yo, if it wasn't for seeing what you did back in the day, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And this is so random. It's like, oh, damn, like I inspired the dude that makes the cowboy boots. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but thanks, man.
He told me I inspire him, man. I hope he did your tattoo then. Did he?
Not. I mean, but hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get a tattoo done.
Full back piece of the Monarch. The Monarch boot.
That would be crazy.
Full back piece would be insane, bro.
No, I'll just get like loyalty or some shit. Yeah. remember that terrible phase of just the pirate.
Who had that? That was like, was it Tito Ortiz?
Yeah.
That had that. It was like crazy.
I think after that, that's when
they were like, we're good.
Yeah.
I mean, Izzy got does he have like Chosen? Something like that. Chosen Land or something like that on his chest.
I'll get something, maybe shoe. You know what I mean?
Shoe boot.
Shoe boot. Yo.
Instead of shoe dog?
Yo, I saw like someone's last name and it was like Shoemaker, but it's not Shoemaker. It's like,
David Shoemaker.
And I'm like, yo, I wish that was my fucking last name. But actually, no. Martinez, Andy Martinez is just like, I'm part of a freaking novella.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You are. And then, if you came out on like a novella and then with the boot and you're doing the tap, you're doing the tap. Like, pero doña.
You're trying to find Cristina. ¿A dónde estaba?
Oh man. So like I want to talk about what you were talking that you were like what you were just saying about I go to the left. Before what you were saying, I want to know more about sneakers in the locker room, in your locker. So like sneaker culture, how did you find out about it? What about it started grasping you so that you would have boxes of sneakers in your locker?
I mean, I didn't have like my first job until I was like 15. I was working at Jimmy Jazz at the time, making $150, if you will,
a day.
I wish. I mean, that sounds good. That would have been lit back in the day. What? No, but like a week. So that was like, that was just sneaker money at that point. But
and you were tapped in. You was at Jimmy Jazz.
Yeah, I got the Cardinal 7s, the Tor Yellow 4s. A bunch of cool stuff came out. The Vomit 5s back when they were the Vomits and not the Olives.
Yeah,
but it showed me this other form of currency. If like, all right, cool, you have these Chicago 2s. What do you want for those?
Yeah.
And then you'll get the head cracker. Like, all right, cool. I want your flip 3s. I want this and that. And that's an even trade. You're like, fuck. All right. I really want those.
Yeah.
Here. Meet me on the 5th floor.
Yeah. So like you're part of, did you do like the forums at all? Like
I was on ISS for a bit.
I was on ISS
until maybe like sophomore year in college. After that, I'm like, man, fuck this. Like
everybody thinks they're too cool.
Yeah, everybody was just like way like, and around that era, there was like a bit of a shift. Like, people weren't so into buying like used stuff anymore. They're like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna buy the countdown packs. Forget buying the 03s.
That Like, so that transition, did it like made you not really like sneakers at that point? Like what, or was it just like, I'm gonna start doing my own thing?
Well, that transition, I was living in Brooklyn at the time. I was dorming at Pratt. So I was just.
So this is after, so like you did that during high school.
During high school and a little bit of college, but in college you don't really have time to like do sneaker meetups.
No, yeah.
Walking around with a CVS bag, a Dwayne Reed bag, and a pair of Jordans and stuff.
Unless you had some money, you went to Supreme and you got the big Supreme bag, and then that Supreme bag would last. You'd just be rocking the Supreme bag,
mad wrinkled, and like they'll have it like nice and folded under their mattress and stuff. Gosh, but I was living in Brooklyn at the time, so I was just going to Buffalo Exchange, Beacon's Closet, and whatever I can find there, I can, just like finesse and just rock,
flip,
yeah.
And like,
like I found a pair of what are the 13s that they're like all black and they have the yellow circle. They're not the playoffs. They might be the playoffs.
Flu? Nah.
But they were a pair of 13s, just brand spanking new. I got
I'm terrible with Jordans. I'm sorry. 13s, black.
They have the little yellow on the tongue, and everything is just black.
It's not breads. Is it just bread?
No, I think let's just call them playoffs.
Okay.
They're going to probably
I'm sorry.
Same.
In the comments, comment in the comments. But which one is it?
Yeah, I got those for like $20, $30, brand new. You know what I mean? Like in college, you're on your own, so you're trying to save up as much money as you can. And, I was saving up to buy a camera at the time and, just eating
ramen.
Yeah.
Just nothing but ramen?
Ramen. Actually, no, I had a meal plan.
Okay.
So it was just nothing but turkey cheddar focaccias and crepes and whatever.
That sounds mad good.
OD good. Like the freshman 15.
Pratt had it like that?
Yeah. That was like the best thing on the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or tortellini Alfredos and they went in.
They didn't have that in my college, I'll tell you that. They didn't even have I don't even think they had a lunchroom.
No? Nah. What school did you go to?
I went to City Tech.
So I was supposed to go to City Tech. And then on graduation day, I'm here taking pictures with everyone that's like, yeah, City Tech. So I take the photo and then I'm like, wait, hold on a second. And then back then I had a little flip phone. I'm like, hello, Pratt. Oh, I got accepted to the HEOP program. Guys, never mind. I'm not going to City Tech. They all just like kind of like looked at me like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I would have been too.
It was just such a moment. I'm like, yo, good luck, guys.
So like, I mean, I've only heard about Pratt. I've never like experienced it, but obviously you pivoted into this budding career that you have now. But where was that moment for you when you were in college that you're like learning this stuff, and like what made you want to learn more about it, like more about fashion and
I think I've just always been around it. Whether I didn't take any fashion classes, but my roommate was doing fashion.
What did you go to school for first?
I went to school for cartooning and animation.
Okay.
At first, and then they kind of like gave us this whole scare about like, it's gonna be hard to. This is a dying art. This 2D thing is not.
The Looney Tunes aren't around anymore.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck. Yo, you're absolutely right. So everything was transitioning into 3D, and I didn't want to I wasn't really interested in doing 3-dimensional like cartoons and stuff. So I did the next best thing. I'm like, let's do film. I can get a job doing film, and that's I graduated with a film and video degree.
That's crazy. Okay.
So I guess like the animated the character that you see here. I mean, I guess like I'm in my own film. Like, there's a lot of this thing called storytelling in footwear. I am the story.
Yes. Because the only reason I laugh is because now all your story posts make sense to me now. So I'm like really realizing what you needed because
it's full circle back to the tweak season thing. I literally got two of my friends that I've always thought look like police officers. They're like kind of like frat bro-y, kind of like brolic dudes. And I'm like, yo, who would be a funny pair to have standing around in a train station and pretend to arrest someone? And around that time, there was a lot of, especially around here, like in this area, there was a lot of people getting busted for hopping the turnstile.
Right, yeah.
And it was like these hipster cops with just like decked out, fresh out of like L Train vintage. And it's just like, yeah, you're not fooling anybody. So I was like, you know what? I'll take that same concept and throw my pair of boots on one of my friends. And around that time, I met Tweak Season at West, because he does a lot of like their stuff. I was like, yo, just, you could say whatever you want, just like make fun of his John Cena shorts and just say a few things about the cowboy boot and just like freestyle it. Got my neighbor from upstairs to hop. I was like, hey, just go through the door. He's like, no, this is my acting debut. And he just like did a full hop over the train. I'm like, oh God. And I think what worked about that video was that I told West and Tweak Season to post it. I'm not going to have any.
Yeah.
So the moment we did that, I like gave it to like the world. That shit went everywhere.
Yeah,
it was like
everywhere.
on Reddit. They were like, you know, you'll be in the, my friend was in the elevator and they're like, yo, you seen that video of the cop with the cowboy boots? And she's like, there's no way they're talking about this guy, you know?
But crazy. Yeah.
The cool shit about that is, again, pivoting back to like what we were talking about, that was promo for my pop-up at West.
Right.
So yeah, it was like marketing 101.
Yeah. I think it was, which is very hard to find now, organic virality. And I was thinking about this recently too, where it's like everything's so manufactured, right? But it's like you put a genuine idea together, you did it, and you were like, you know what? I don't need to post it on my page. I just everybody gets it. Everybody is going to want to share it, because it looks
like my phone was legit blowing up.
Yeah, I bet.
I was just like, yeah, I know. It's like, yo, you got police officers wearing? I'm like, I don't know how you got them.
Yeah, you know, they put in an order for precinct 13, man. Like,
yo, funny shit is like those two dudes like
became cops.
No, imagine. But they would tell me like, yo, now I can't buy weed no more. Like, yo, my weed dude just like showed me. It's like, yo, what's this? And it's like, bro, it's a freaking skit. He's like, yeah.
Show me your badge. Show me your badge right now. You're. If I ask you, you're a police officer. You got to identify yourself.
Literally. So it was a good time, man. It was so fun.
No, yeah, I wish I could. I wish I just made that release. I didn't have the money to buy the sneakers. I didn't have the money to buy the boots at the time.
You could have pulled up and had a bev.
Pizza. Yeah.
And pizza. Yeah, there was pizza there. Yeah.
Pizza. I know Jovan was telling me all about that night, and I was just like, yeah, okay. But what I love about
and
that,
mind you, I didn't. I was like so nervous to show up.
Why?
I was like, man, no one's gonna show up, and I showed up like a half hour late.
Yeah.
My sister was there, my brother was there, and then I look around and I'm like, oh my God, there's a lot of people I got to say hi to. I was so happy, but like, just like, oh.
Do you have any ideas to do another pop-up?
I would like to. I would definitely like to. Maybe with a new concept, or even with this one. Like, I honestly, like, you know, I'm open to anything.
Yeah. Because I know you posted, I don't know what the artist name, who's the artist that had it on, but somebody had it on stage. Who was that?
Recently?
Yeah.
You gotta.
There's a female.
There's a few. There's a few. Jesse Murph.
I think that's the one I seen. But
Country, but the most recent one, Skylar Gray.
Skylar
Gray. She's down with Shady.
Yeah, I know.
She sang.
She came out for the Eminem. Yeah, that.
So she sings a lot of like the covers for like Stan and like the Rihanna covers, Jelly Roll, the whole nine. So that was a dope moment. And what's cool about the pair that she has, she basically has like my two greatest hits, like back when I first started showing my work more online, I used to put like this Vibram spike bottom on the black Air Forces.
Yeah.
So she had that bottom and this upper. So it's like a more platform kind of like look to it.
That's hard.
And it went so crazy with their style and shit, just like oversized t-shirt, the 2 braids in the back, you know?
I mean, you know, you're talking about changing bottoms, but you know, you showed me something earlier. I don't know if you want to pull it out for the listeners and watch.
No, I mean, like being that we were talking about Jordans and, you know, this whole thing about like the 2018 versions of the 3s are better than the, well, first off, this is like when the interviewer becomes the host and like, what's your take on the 2024 release?
So I think, first of all, I've never owned a BC3. I've never owned a Black Cement 3.
Get out.
All right.
Get off my set.
Andy is now the host of the podcast now. I've actually never owned a BC3. I've owned my first Jordan 3 were the Fire Red 3s, and that's what broke me out of SBs because I was only on SBs very hard. And then I was like, okay, yeah, this is an amazing shoe. I need to have it. So Fire Red 3s always have a special place in my heart for that. And then every single time BC3s have come out, I haven't been able to cop because I've been too broke. And this year, the same thing happened. Went to Complex Con, and then I got blessed with the stashes. So both stashes.
The Air Max 95s and the Forces?
Air Force Ones.
Sick.
I am like being able to cop your younger self's grails, like even though it's an updated version, and you know,
do you think it's updated or
it's an updated version?
Because they
changed it.
Like at least it's not leather on the bottom,
right? Yeah.
So I think that's an update for sure.
And it's like it's not is it like nylon or something like on the original pair? Yeah, it's all different. Like so it's all totally remastered. For both.
It's not reimagined.
No, it's not reimagined. Maybe. I don't know. But when the BC3s came out, I was like, I gotta figure out a way to move money around and get them because I do want them. I think it's a staple shoe.
Yeah.
And I think it always looks classic. It looks great in anything, right? But at the same time, I have my favorite Jordan model is the 4. So I have the reimagined 4s, the Bred 4s. And I don't know. I feel like if I got a pair of BC3s, it's kind of like I got like they kind of go hand in hand.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Like from a distance, obviously if you know, but you know, you could probably live without one or the other. You don't have to have both of them,
right? Yeah,
unless like you're caking like that and you're just like,
I mean,
look, the 3s and the 4s and the
Jordan
5s.
brand. If you want to bless your boy,
seriously,
I would love a BC3 because I've never owned one and I've always wanted one.
I brought like I got these in the mail and like so you know they had like all these like crazy defects and stuff.
Yeah.
But just wanted to do like a side by side.
These are the 2015s, right?
2015s. These are
which year are these?
Well, I mean, guess
2018s. No, I don't know.
These are the 2024s.
These are the 2024s?
Yeah. I mean, I wore them like once or twice already to the store.
Okay, I see it. Yeah. The light elephant pattern, as they say.
It's very light. Yeah. Slimmer on the side.
Yeah.
Nike Air on the back. And actually, this was like such an important thing back in the day because back when the countdown packs came out.
Yeah, because when everybody always forgets that there was a point where Jordan Brand decided to break off of Nike and go by themselves. go by themselves. So and that's when we got that.
Imagine opening up your box and this comes out.
These are insane, bro.
Like, Jordan, what's going on?
What's going on? How'd you get these?
I bought them like from like
what sneakers that were you using? Snonkers? So like,
I mean,
you know those videos where they're like,
like compare both of them from far.
You know those videos where it's like the guy singing, he's like, oh, he's got and then he's like, perfect shoe.
What's his face? I think I follow him. He's like, oh my God, what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell? So like obviously
I should low-key hit him up and just like yo, peep these threes and just do the voiceovers or something. But this
what compelled you to create
well,
these?
honestly, so my whole project is to upcycle all the materials that, you know, I have available to me. So technically I'm upcycling the bottom part of that cowboy boot.
Right.
So I literally just plopped it off.
Aha.
That's what it used to look like, but that's what this would look like if they were to like come together. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I didn't put that together. That's fire.
I did a in 2022 I had a workshop with Nike.
Yeah.
And I did my Air Force like that. Since my main thing is the Air Force One, I ended up just like wrapping up Air Force One pieces and turning it into like a dress shoe. But like if you look at the what are those New Balances? They're like half sneaker, half loafer.
Oh yeah, I know you talk about.
I mean, it's not in that realm, but like there's something fun and like kind of exciting happening with, you know, I think it's coming with age because a lot of us are already like in our 30s and you know, like not, you know, I gotta still like represent and wear my sneakers and stuff, but I could be like classy too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's and
I can't wait till you make a diesel shoe out of a Jordan.
Diesel shoe would be crazy.
the diesel Jordan hybrid.
Or like this would be a crazy opportunity for Jordan to bring back the 2-3. I don't know if you remember when he had like all those like dress shoes and stuff, but it's also paying homage to that and stuff. You know?
What always intrigued me about like your stuff is that you do take those chances. Like you got the crazy sole was it the Air Force with like 80 different soles under or whatever? Yeah.
Literally. It was size 6 to 13. Just hand stitched all the way up.
Crazy.
You know? And it was funny is like just like reading like the comments. And the comments are like the story is just writing itself. You know what I mean? I'm just like snatching like what people say. It's just like, I had this idea years ago. I'm like, really? So why didn't you do it? Oh, okay.
I mean, even so, let's touch on this because I definitely wanted to bring this up because it was mentioned on Sneaky League Pod. Shout out to Sneaky League. The Croc boot, right? That like everybody, as soon as that was posted, everybody's like, "Oh, y'all just copying Andy."
Yeah.
What did that make you feel?
I mean, what's cool about it is like we're living in a world, and I like how this is going because we can like go right back to this, but the 2024 version is not going to be anywhere near like the 2018s and the 3005s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's going to be different versions of the same product. You know what I mean? So the fact that Gallery Department,
yeah,
made those UGG cowboy boots,
right?
Crocs, ES skate brand, whatever. Everybody else that bites me. You know what I mean? Like I'm on top of that mountain of like, all right, cool. Like I'm not saying that I created this because like Jeremy Scott made a pair. The original one is Tony Lama. So there's these variants. You know what I mean? Of the same thing, and it's all different. So at the end of the day, like copy all you want. The Croc version looked like you could buy it at Rainbow. They should have just went straight to the source, and I'll leave it at that.
I also find it like because you saying that you're upcycling stuff, and I think that we living in this world where that's like, I feel like it's a buzzword. It used to be a real thing. And
once the NFT thing started happening, all the companies are like, yeah, we don't upcycle anymore.
Yeah. we're good at upcycling. Yeah. That whole, the initiative of like, let's save the world. Let's do this. You know, there are only a couple, I feel like, especially within the sneaker world where I did a small little presentation on there was this woman who upcycles, like she gets like a batch of sneakers and she puts them together. So she'll do for example, she'll do like a Vomero mixed with a like a Reebok
and she makes like the textile of,
yeah,
like,
and
you're talking about Helen Kirkland.
Yes, Helen. Yeah.
Helen Kirkland definitely. Once I started seeing her, like how she gets down, I'm like, that's fire.
Yeah,
that's dope.
I think that we are out of we're not doing that anymore. Like even when you think about Tom's back in the day, where it's just like I really don't understand what happened. Like,
it's crazy you mentioning Toms, because I saw a pair of Toms earlier with a thick bottom, and I was like laughing to myself. I'm like, oh, the chunky sole. This is their chunky sole version of the Toms, because like the Toms used to be so flat.
Yeah, super.
But Toms had like 3 wears, and like apparently went to for every purchase, like it saved like a kid somewhere. Why don't you just gift them those shoes?
Look, they did good initiatives. All right, I can't hate on it. All right, they did. It was every pair of shoes you got. It was one kid gets shoes.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
And then,
so
then you buy eyeglasses. You'd buy eyes. You'd gift the kid of sight.
You gift eyeballs.
Yeah, I've bought a pair of Toms strictly off of that, like Tom's glasses. They were like, I give eyesight to a kid. I'm down. Let's go.
You could have just bought the eyeballs and not buy the glasses.
Listen, Silk Road is gone, and we can't do that anymore. But there was I bought zapatos, right? I bought like actual shoes, and that one was like, this was made out of old Toms. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So. But then I was saying, like, even with like the Cosmic Unity stuff that Nike's putting out, it's always like we're doing upcycle, but it's like 30%. Like they're not like actually taking another shoe and making another shoe. They're just like, we're gonna use part of it, and then we're still gonna use
polyester,
and all this extra stuff. But what are your thoughts on like how upcycling is, like the trend of upcycling is now?
I mean, it's dope. What I don't like about it is that it's so damn expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I'm in the market too. My shoes aren't like the cheapest either, but everything, once you like line everything up, like boots are expensive. Nikes are $125. So, I mean, materials, forget about it. But I definitely fuck with it. And I definitely like how everyone is being more on the greener side of things. Like, I'm running into so many pages, and it's becoming more of like a community of just like there's like a bunch of like pages that are restoring Air Forces and like taking cleaning off the bottoms of like some 94 Barclays and then putting a brand new one on it. You know what I mean? So like just still keeping that same essence of
ingenuity and like,
and like, like it becomes real niche. It's like for that specific person that still wants that shoe, or wants that item, and people that repair denims, and like the list goes on. It's just becoming like this like niche, like small, well, not even small because it's all over the place, but it is dope.
It's dope. Yeah. That's great. So I also asked this one last question before we get up out of here.
Damn, we're already,
man. We've been zooming, man. I know I looked a couple times. I'm like, goddamn. But I always asked this one question. So it deals with a little bit of reflecting, and I want you to think back to when you were younger, right? You're little Andy about to open that box with the Aqua 8s in them.
They were used.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now you're you behind your younger self. What would you tell your younger self?
Man. Okay. I'm gonna rephrase like your question, just because my very first pair of shoes that I ever did something like that to was when I was a kid.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, these look so dope. They were a pair of Air Max 1s.
Okay.
And I took a pair of like, I don't remember which year these Barclays were from, but something about like my OCD was just like, yo, if I cut the shoe at this angle and plop it together, that shoe will look crazy. I've never seen a mid-top Air Max 1. And I'm here thinking that like at 14, 15.
That's wild. First of all, that's absolutely wild.
So I never took photos of it. I never, shared my work like how I do now. Like now, whether you get 0 views or 1,000 views, like I put everything out.
Mm-hmm.
What I would tell Andy then, take a few fit pics with that shoe.
Yeah.
Go viral.
Put that on the forums.
Put that on the forums.
Yeah.
I would have been, I mean, I can only tell you that I did this, but if I had actual photos from when I actually first started doing this stuff, it'll be something else, man.
I mean, that's crazy. Just to even hear that, because we only talked about like forward moving, like we didn't really talk about like the origin, the first shoe you tried to mix and match together, or I don't know what you call it, Andyize it. I don't know. Ampersand it. I don't know.
Ampersand it. Yes. We're going with that.
All right. I get 10%. But like we didn't really get it. Like what I was trying to say, that we really didn't touch over it because it seems like so more of something that you've stumbled upon instead of something that you came up with when you were younger. But then hearing that, I'm like, that's crazy. You have crazy foresight for you to see.
It was always something. It was always something second nature. You know what I mean? It's just like I always look at old photos in the albums, and I'm like, people were such great photographers, and it's because like back then you had to. It was like second nature for everyone. So I think like me with the sneaker thing was just like second nature. Like it was just always like, all right, I'm going to be drawing and figure out my future, but I'll still experiment with shoes and so on and so forth, and figuring out Angelus paint and changing the colorways and stuff, and SBs. Like I'll make my own SBs.
So you were the person behind the drunks. No,
the drunks. I didn't get drunk until
I'm talking about the BS drunks. You remember?
Yeah. No, that wasn't me.
with the banana on the side. I love those shoes. But let everybody know where to find you, Andy.
You can find me on Instagram at 0831am.com. It's much shorter if you just type it in, but I had to like emphasize 0831.
Shout out to your page. It's a great follow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
I've been on the story for a couple times. We've done karaoke together. So
oh my God. Karaoke in the airport.
Karaoke at the airport.
I tell people about that and they're like, what's your life about? You sang Casey and JoJo.
Yeah, we went crazy on that one. And you know where to find me. I am Who Is Hassan on all social media. Follow the podcast on My First Kicks Pod. Check out the website, myfirstkicks.com. We got a shirt up there for pre-sale. And if you're using my old email to hit me up to send me your My First Kick story, stop. Send it to info@myfirstkicks.com. If you were listening to this, which apparently a lot of my people listen, you gotta hop on the YouTubes. We've been sitting in studio. Come on. I need some subscribers. Hit the like and subscribe.
When you told me you were gonna wait until the 200th episode, I was like, yo, you got, and I started like looking at all your interviews. I was like, holy shit.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Congrats on that, man.
And as he said, we're on the road to 200, 2 more episodes. I will probably announce the guest next week for episode 200, or maybe I won't. And maybe you'll have to wait.
Surprise.
We'll see. Surprise.
It might just be me again.
Andy's back. And you know what we say each week? Wear your kicks. Peace.